Okay, so now screen is visible clearly.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in the last class we were discussing about the line charge. Okay, so now today we will discuss about the surface charge. Okay, surface charge. So now let us take an infinite sheet charge or surface charge, so which is with respect to coordinate system we will write. Okay, okay, there is a infinite sheet charge, so assume it is an infinite this thing, so the surface. Okay, so now we have the xyz coordinates. So now if I have some small elemental area here, okay, so now I need to find out due to this surface, so now what is the electric field at some point. Okay, say for example, so if I take the point here, so Kusuma, you just mute your audio. Okay, so now if I take the point P, okay, so which is 0 comma 0 comma h, so that is the this height I can consider it as h from this to origin. Okay, so now if I want to find out the electric field due to the small elemental charge, okay, so here in the surface of this charge, that is surface charge of this sheet. Okay, so first we need to so draw a line, so the field which is with respect to this small elemental area. Okay, so that is, so with respect to this small elemental area, so that we can call it as the distance r. So now, so since with this element, so from the origin, so I can take it as the value which is rho. Okay, so now since the distance from the origin in the z axis it is h, and from the x and y axis it is rho. So in the cylindrical coordinate system, as we have seen, so this rho is nothing but the component, we can take it as x and y component. Okay, so now first we need to find out, so the whatever the field, so due to this charge configuration. So now let us take, so there is an uniform charge, it is distributed over this surface, then the charge associated with this elemental, so the surface area, and if I take the small elemental area, the charge associated with the small elemental area, let us take it as d. Okay, and we have a surface charge which is denoted as rho s over the elemental surface ds. Okay, so this we know, so the small elemental charge. So now we know from our earlier discussion the electric field due to surface charge, that is integral rho s ds divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r square into air cap. So this is what the surface charge, so that is electric field due to the surface charge configuration. So now, so from this equation we need to evaluate, so the values which is the r, ar, the unit cap, unit vector direction, and the surface area. So now from this, so just this triangle, you if you observe, okay, so now the vector r I can write the addition of the vector rho and addition of vector h. So you can see this triangle. Okay, so this triangle, so the vector r which is the combination of rho and h. Okay, now you can see, so if I take the vector like this in this direction and in this direction, so these two addition of vectors, it will give the resultant vector r. So now I can write this r as, so the rho into, so since the arrow direction is in this direction but we are moving in the opposite direction, so that's why I am taking minus arrow. So this vector from the small elemental area, which is nothing but rho into minus arrow, plus, so this vector which is h into az direction. Okay, so this vector which is h into az direction. So now we need to find out what is the electric field due to this surface element, that is small surface element or elementary so area. Okay, so now from this we can write the magnitude of r, so which is nothing but rho square plus h square whole power half. Okay, so now similarly, so we have the unit vector direction, so this is also we can write the vector r by the magnitude of r. Okay, so now this we can write it as so rho into minus a rho plus h into az, so this divided by rho square plus h square whole power half. Okay, so this unit vector we have found out and r we know. So now we have to write down what is the surface area, that is this elemental surface area ds. Okay, so now what is ds in this configuration? So now if I consider this as a cylindrical coordinates rho, phi and z. Okay, so now we have only the rho and h component, that is in the direction of arrow and in the direction of the z component, but you can see the point which we have considered to find out the electric field, so which is always perpendicular to the plane xy plane. Okay, so that is always the xy plane, so which is perpendicular to this point, or the point is perpendicular to this xy plane. So we need to find out the vector, that is z component, the elemental surface area which is normal to the z component, that is unit vector z. So whatever we consider the small area which is normal to the az direction. So now we have already discussed, so what is the surface area which is perpendicular to unit vector az? So in the cylindrical coordinate system it is d rho into rho into d phi, because this rho is always associated with this phi direction. Okay, so now this surface area which is in the cylindrical coordinate system with respect to the unit vector z, which is given by d rho rho into d phi into az. So now from this equation, so you substitute the elemental surface area ds and the unit vector r and also the vector, that is the r vector. So now we will get the electric field due to this small element. Okay, so if I substitute that one, so what we will get? So we will get so rho s into, so the ds is nothing but rho into d rho into d phi in the direction of az. Okay, so this divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. So now r square is, so it is a magnitude which is r square, we can write it as rho square plus h square, so whole power of to the power of square. So this is r square, and whatever ar direction, this is nothing but again the vector r divided by so rho square plus h square to the power of half. Okay, so now you can add these two and you can rewrite the vector r. So and this rho s 4 pi epsilon naught, take it outside, so this is the constant terms with respect to integral. Okay, so now, so this we can rewrite it as so the rho d rho into d phi. So since it is a surface area, we need to consider the double integral. So since it is a surface area, that is ds, we have to consider the double integral. So that double integral with respect to rho and as well as phi. Okay, so now the limits we will discuss what are the limits for rho and as well as phi. Okay, so now it is in the z az direction, so this divided by, so the vector r, so it is nothing but rho minus a rho plus h into az. Okay, so this is what your the vector r. So this divided by, if I add this one, you will get rho square plus h square whole power 3 by 2. So this is 1 plus half, it is equal to 3 by 2. Okay, so now you can see, so this we have found out the electric field due to the elemental charge here. So now if I take the symmetrical charge that is opposite to this direction exactly, so which is opposite to this direction within the surface or within this surface or infinite sheet. Okay, so now if I consider this one, the electric field due to this one. Okay, so if I take this as a again rho. Okay, so this component, so in the z direction, so since it is in the, so both are in opposite direction, so the rho component for this element and this element will get cancel each other, and we'll only have the z component. So that's why, so owing to the symmetry of this charge distribution due to this elemental surface, wherever you take in the infinite sheet, so wherever we have the elemental surface, corresponding to that the rho component will be always opposite and add up to 0. So end up in only the z component. So that's why, so this component will become 0, and we can rewrite this one as, so rho s divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. So now we can see, since it is an infinite charge, okay, so this is an infinite sheet, so this rho, it is extending up to infinity. The radius of this one, it can be go to infinite, so value. So that's why this integral, it will become 0 to infinity for rho, and we have no, so it is phi direction, it is the sheet which is having a 2 pi value, so that is 0 to 2 pi. Okay, even you can, so take this rho as a component of x and y, so we can write, so rho as, so that is cos phi into ax plus sin phi into ay. So this we can split it as this component and this component. Okay, so if I split like that, you will be having cos phi ax plus sin pi ax. Now phi is varying from 0 to 2 pi. Okay, so if you take that value, so it will become 0. Okay, so that is also with respect to x and y component. If you split it up again, this rho component will become 0. Okay, so over 0 to 2 pi, so the integration of this cos phi and sin phi, it will become 0. Okay, so that's why we'll only have the z component. So now we have the, after this rho component becomes 0, we have only rho d rho d phi into, so we have only the z component, so which is h into az. So this divided by rho square plus z square whole power 3 by 2. Okay, so this is what we have, only the z component, and we have end up with only these terms. So now we have to take the constant outside, and we have to integrate with respect to rho and d phi. So now if I take the constants outside, so we will get rho s divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. The value h, it is constant, I am taking outside, and rho, it is varying from 0 to infinity. Okay, so now we have, so this rho into d rho is there, and rho square plus z square whole power 3 by 2 is there, so that we can write. So with respect to rho, it is rho d rho divided by rho square plus h square whole power 3 by 2 into 0 to 2 pi, which is having only d phi. Okay, so now this is what integration we have left out in the direction of az. Okay, so now we have this one, we can integrate this one. So this, if you integrate this, it will give 2 pi. Okay, rho s h divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. So this integral results in 2 pi value. Okay, so that I am writing it as 2 pi, and we have left out with the integration of rho. So that is rho d rho, so divided by rho square plus h square whole power 3 by 2. So now what I'll do, so I will take this rho square plus h square, which is equal to t, another variable, to evaluate this integral. Okay, so now what you will get, 2 rho into d rho, which is equal to dt. Okay, so now what is rho into d rho, so we can replace it as by dt by 2. So in this integral, you can replace rho into d rho by dt by 2. So now whenever we have rho equal to 0, your t will become 0 plus h square. so your t will become h square. Okay, and similarly whenever we have rho equal to infinity, so your t also become equal to infinity. Okay, so now the varies, so the value varies between h square and infinity. So now we can substitute that one, rho s h divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into 2 pi. So now it is from varies from h square to infinity, so rho into d rho, which is nothing but dt by 2. Okay, so this divided by rho square plus h square, it is t. Okay, so t power 3 by. Okay, so now this 1 by 2 we can take it outside and we can cancel this one 2 times the, so rho s h by 2 epsilon naught into 1 by 2 I am taking outside, this is dt by 2. Okay, so now we have left out with h square to infinity, so we have dt by t power 3 by 2. So now we can integrate this one, so we can take it this upside, so it will become t power minus 3 by 2. So now integration of that you can do, it is half into, so integration of t power minus 3 by 2 is nothing but t power minus half divided by minus half. So this is varies from h square to infinity. Okay, so now, so we can have this half and half get cancelled, so we'll be having rho s h by 2 epsilon naught into, so minus of t power minus of. So now if I substitute this one, it will give infinity, so that is, so if I again it will, I'll take it into the denominator, and if I substitute h square to infinity, so if I substitute infinity here, it will 1 over infinity, it will become 0. Okay, so this will be, so 1 by infinity, which will become 0, so this term, and if I substitute h square, so it will become 1 over h square power half. Okay, so now this will become, so this will become h square and h square whole power half, so this 2 get cancel each other, it will become 1 over h, and minus of minus it will become plus, so you will end up with rho s h by epsilon naught into 1 over h. Okay, so now this h and h will get cancel each other, so you will end up with the electric field due to infinite sheet of charge, you will be having rho s by 2 epsilon naught into az direction. So this is always az direction, it is there. Okay, so this is what your electric field due to infinite sheet of charge. Okay, so is it understood? Any doubt in this? Hello, anybody, any doubt how we arrive the electric field due to infinite sheet of charge? Hello, is it understood? Okay, so now this is what in general we have the electric field distribution. So now if I take, so this h is in the, so in the direction of positive direction. Similarly if I take the point in the negative direction, that is h less than 0. Okay, so if I take h less than 0, so only the change we need to do is nothing but the unit vector z, az unit vector direction, we have to take it as minus az if I take the point in the opposite direction. So generally, so we can write it as electric field due to infinite sheet of charge, which is given by rho s by 2 epsilon naught into an cap. So this an is the normal unit vector with respect to the plane, that is sheet plane. So wherever the sheet it is containing, this unit vector is always it is perpendicular to that the surface or the sheet whatever we are taking, whether it is in xy plane, whether it is in xz plane, whichever plane you consider. So this unit vector it is always perpendicular to the plane of that sheet. So that is what, so this an unit vector refers to. Okay, so it is vector normal to the sheet. So now we can see here, so one more point in this expression. So we have the point H from the origin. So that is wherever the sheet is there, from the sheet origin to the point. So that is the distance from point to the center of the sheet. So you can observe here, so the electric field, it is independent of that distance. Okay, so there is no H parameter here. That is it signifies whatever the distance you take from the sheet, okay, perpendicular to that sheet, okay, so the electric field always this much. So it is independent of that distance. So wherever you take the point, there is an electric field. So with respect to that point, so it is an independent field distribution. Okay. So now if I take a similar example, if I take the for this infinite sheet, so if I have two sheets, okay, so positive and negatively charged distribution, okay, so similar like your parallel plate capacitor, okay, so the capacitor is always having some dielectric space or you will be having some vacuum. So it is nothing but a two sheets which is separated by some distance, okay. So if I have like this will be having some electric field and this will be having some electric field due to a sheet kind of thing. So now if for this case we can write that electric field as rho s by 2 epsilon naught a n cap. So plus minus rho s because it is negatively charged, minus rho s 2 epsilon naught minus a n cap. So now the electric field due to two parallel plate or parallel infinite sheets or parallel sheets. So we can write it as rho s by epsilon naught into a n cap. So this is what electric field, so which is due to two parallel sheets or parallel plates. Okay. So this is what the surface charge, so which is distribution. Is it understood? Any doubt? Hello? Understood? Fardeen? Fardeen Ahmad, understood? Kirtana? Hello? Pranita? Hello, Pranita? Ritu?
Yes, sir.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Subramanya?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt?
No, sir. Got it, sir.
Okay. Bhavana? Okay. So this is what the charge, the electric field due to this charge configuration, that is due to infinite sheet charge configuration. Okay. So now we will going to next discuss the volume charge. Okay. So next one is the volume charge. So now let us consider, so a sphere which is having a radius a. Okay. So in the coordinate system, let us take a sphere which is having a the radius a. Okay. So now I'll consider, so a sphere of radius a, and we have the volume of the sphere which is filled with uniform charge. Okay, so this volume of the sphere completely which is filled with charge, that we'll call it as the volume charge density, which is represented by coulomb per meter cube. Okay, so this complete sphere which is filled with a uniform charge density which is called as volume charge density. So now the charge associated, so if I take a small elemental volume, okay, so if I take a small elemental volume, so this is small elemental volume, okay, if I consider. So now what is the electric field due to this small elemental volume? So and we have the charge which is associated with the volume, and if we have the charge which is a small charge element due to this volume, okay, so we have this dq which is nothing but rho v into dv, a small volume. Okay, so this is volume charge density, okay, and this is the differential volume. So now if you want to find out the total charge, we have to integrate this one. Okay, that is q equal to integration of rho v into d. Okay, so now what is rho v? That is the volume of this sphere. So you can have the, since it is a uniform charge distribution, we can have this, so rho v into, so the differential volume, it is a complete volume, so that we can have volume of a sphere which is 4 pi, so r cube in general if you have a radius of r, and if I consider the radius a, 4 pi a cube by 3, so that is the volume of the, so complete the charge distribution. Okay, so now we have to find out at some point. Okay, so at somewhere it is in point p equal to 0 comma 0 comma z. Okay, so now at this point, due to this small elemental volume, so now I need to find out what is the electric field, that is dE. Okay, so for that I am considering the spherical coordinate systems. So this small elemental volume which is, so at a distance of r dash from the origin, and there is a theta dash which is from the z direction. Okay, and we have the, so the same if I extend to this one, so in the spherical coordinate system, so this will be having with respect to x, this will be having phi dash. There is an angle from x axis which is having phi dash, so we have x and y and z direction. Okay, so this is what the r dash, theta dash and phi dash. So now this small elemental volume, from this volume to the point p, we have the vector r. Okay, so the distance between this point and a small elemental volume, we can represent it as r, and this volume which is making an angle from z axis which is alpha. Okay, so even so we can represent this angle, and we can use this angle to calculate the elemental, so electric field, that is dE, due to this small elemental volume. Okay, so now we can represent this as a small elemental volume, so with respect to the spherical coordinates r dash, theta dash and phi dash. Okay, so now we know the electric field due to the uh, small elemental volume. So we can write the electric field due to the small elemental volume which is nothing but rho v into dv, so divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r square into ar. Okay, so now if I integrate this one, so we have already know this, so the expression, so electric field due to volume charge, so you have to take that volume charge density and you have to integrate it, so this divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r square into ar. So this we know, so this is a known expression. Okay, so this we have discussed. So now we have to evaluate, so the volume charge, so what is the elemental volume, so with respect to this spherical coordinates, and we have to evaluate r square, and we have to evaluate the unit vector ar. Okay, so if we evaluate and if we substitute all these values in this expression, so we are going to get the electric field due to this, the volume. Okay, and if we consider the whole volume, so that rho v, so we'll going to completely get the electric field due to complete volume. Okay, so now if I take the ar direction, so that is this one, so ar direction, so this if I project it, so this whatever the same thing, so if I consider this as a row and the same thing if I project it here row, so this will be having two components, okay, with respect to this alpha. So the same thing, so which will be having two components, that is, so this AR whatever the direction of unit vector, okay, so or we can take here, so here it is better to understand. So now if I take this component as a z component dez, okay, so in the z component which is nothing but dez, okay, and this will be the de component, and we have the so de row component. So one more component in the x direction you can write it as so de row, okay. So that is this two vectors and this will be the resultant vector, okay. So now that AR direction we can write it as in terms of the alpha, so you can write this same angle here also, it will give alpha here, so between this and this vector. So now this component is nothing but so your dez cos alpha, and similarly this component is nothing but so de, so okay, so this one it will be de rho sin alpha, so because it is row component, okay. So now we can write so the AR component which is nothing but cos alpha in the direction of AZ, okay, so this is in the direction of AZ. Similarly, so sin alpha in the direction of a row component, okay. So because this is in the, so this if you project it here, so the resultant vector will be de, okay. So this component will be having, so this configuration I'll write it here once again, so this will be like this. So this angle you assume it as the perpendicular direction, that is both are perpendicular and the resultant will be this one. So the same thing we have projected here as a rectangular component. So now this and this, so this will be the angle alpha, so this similar here, so this will be so dez or z component, so cos alpha into az component, and similarly here sin alpha into this is a row component. So that is what we have written the unit vector AR, okay. So now, so you can see owing to the symmetry of the charge distribution or charge configuration, okay. So now this e row component, so if I exactly take one more volume here, so this e row component will get cancel each other, so whatever we taken here, and similarly you can, so it will cancel the other, so opposite direction, so we don't have any the row component or even xy component. So if I split this row as in terms of x and y component, so that will cancel each other due to the opposite elemental volume, so that will left with the only the z component, okay. So now that's why we can write only we have a z component of electric field, okay, so which is nothing but electric field in the direction of az, okay. So this is nothing but so whatever we have the expression which is rho v into dv, so we have the z component which is nothing but cos alpha, so we have cos alpha into az component, so this divided by, okay, so this divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r square, okay. So this is what we end up with the equation, the ez component, so or we can have electric field in the direction of z component, okay. So now we need to evaluate this volume as well as the r distance, okay, and also we have to evaluate cos alpha, okay. So we need to evaluate cos alpha, the dv, the elemental volume, and as well as r, okay. So now with respect to spherical coordinate system, so we have already seen, so the elemental volume we can write it as, so since I have taken it as r dash theta dash and phi dash, I am representing the volume element in terms of r dash theta dash and phi dash. So now we know the elemental volume with respect to spherical coordinates which we have discussed, which is r dash square into sin theta dash into d theta dash into dr dash into d phi dash. So this we have discussed earlier when we have discussed the spherical coordinates, okay. So the elemental volume how we can write. So now in order to find out what is the value of cos alpha, okay, and also the value of r, take this triangle, okay. So I just write it as one more time in a different color. So this, whatever the color change, the triangle, so if you take this triangle and if you apply the cosine rule, so then we can get the expression for cos alpha and as well as r. Okay, so now what is cosine rule? So that is, if we have any triangle, so with ABC side, okay, and this is angle A, angle B and angle C, okay. So now if I want to find out the cos of angle A, okay, so then what we will get? So you can write that one as in terms of the other two sides, that is, so this is the side which are making the angle A. So if I want, so the side, any side, so we can represent, say for example, if I want a square, okay, so if I want this a square, so then what is the opposite to this angle? We can take that cos of that angle, and also so we can represent this one b square plus c square minus 2bc into cos of b. So now if I want this side, and we can use other side and also angle to find out this value. So this is what the cosine rule, and if you can apply the other these things also. So now similarly we can apply this one to in this triangle. So if I apply the cosine rule to this triangle, we can find out r alpha, okay. So now, and also r dash, so whichever we require we can able to find it out. Now I'll write r and r dash, the cosine rule. If I want r square, which is nothing but, so this is the value of z, so from 0 to this point we can take it as that value z, okay. So now if I want r square, so in the cosine rule what we will get? Z square plus r dash square minus 2z r dash into cos of, what is the angle opposite to this? It is theta dash, which is nothing but cos theta dash. Similarly, if we want r dash square, it is nothing but z square plus r square minus 2zr cos alpha. So we can get the cos alpha term r square also, so in terms of the spherical coordinates by using cosine rule. Now apply that cosine rule, so we will get r square, so which is nothing but z square plus r dash square minus 2z r dash into cos theta dash, and similarly r dash square, which is given by z square plus r square minus 2z r cos alpha, okay. So now whatever we have the equation which is here, so alpha r square and this dv, okay. So now it is convenient to evaluate, so in terms of this r, so whatever r and r dash, so this r and r dash, okay. So it is convenient to evaluate this cos theta, cos alpha, all these angle terms in terms of r and r dash, so that we can express this cos theta and cos alpha in terms of r and r dash, because in the integral we have involved only r dash and r, okay. So that's why we'll express these angles in terms of r and r dash. So what we will get? So if I want cos alpha in terms of r and r dash, so we will get, so this z square plus r square minus r dash square, so this divided by 2zr. So this is what your cos alpha. And similarly if you want to get cos theta dash, so which is nothing but z square plus r dash square minus r square, so this divided by 2 into z r dash, okay. So now this is what we have, the cos alpha and cos theta dash. Now we can see here with respect to elemental volume, we have sin theta dash into d theta dash. We have to evaluate that. So for that, what we will do, if I take the differentiation of this, so we will get sin theta dash and d theta dash. So if I differentiate this one, so we will get the value of this one in terms of r and r dash, okay. So now if we differentiate this one, you will get minus sin theta dash into d theta dash, which is equal to, so this is a constant, so differentiation of this one with respect to theta, it will be 0, and minus, so this, since this r is varying, we have 2r into dr, okay, so this divided by, so 2z r dash. So this will treat it as constant and we have 2z r dash. So now this will get, so sin theta dash into d theta dash, which is given by, so this will get cancel each other, negative sign, and 2 will get cancel each other. We will end up with r dr into 2z r dash. Okay, so now this is what sin theta into d theta dash, so we can have this value. So now as theta varies from 0 to pi, so you can observe one more thing here. If theta dash, which is varying from 0 to pi, okay, so now, so this r varies from z plus r dash to z minus r dash. Okay, so this z and the difference in the value of r dash, so this will z minus r dash, which will give the theta variation. So this is, so if I project the same volume here, so it will become z plus r dash. Okay, so that variation, if theta varies from 0 to pi, okay, if theta varies from 0 to pi, so now r varies from z minus r dash to z plus r dash. Okay, so when it will vary, whenever this p outside the sphere, the point p, it is outside the sphere. Now in the negative direction also, if I take here, then it will give z plus r dash. Okay, so this is what the value are with respect to the theta dash. Okay, so now, so substitute this one, so this sin theta dash into d theta dash. Okay, and also we have the equation dv, the value, the elemental volume dv. Okay, and also cos alpha we have. So if you substitute all these equations and if you evaluate the volume integral, so you will get the electric field due to this volume charge distribution. That is, so E equal to, so now you can see here, so this rho v 4 pi epsilon naught constant, so you can take it outside and you substitute dv r square and cos alpha. Okay, so if I substitute that one, so rho v by 4 pi epsilon naught, so take it outside. So now the phi variation, which is nothing but 0 to 2 pi, the phi dash variation, which is nothing but 0 to 2 pi, and there is a d phi value here, so you can write that one d phi dash. Okay, so now, so since this one, it is not involved any r and r dash, okay, with respect to phi, so this will be a separate integral. So now here, and r and theta, it is, so all, both r and r dash and theta dash, which are involved r and r dash, that is this r and r dash, it is involved in the theta dash, and also in the r dash it is involved. Okay, so that's why, so this integral evaluate, so r dash, which is, so varying from 0 to a, so that is the sphere of radius a, so the sphere of radius a. Okay, so this is, which we can represent it as rho equal to a, that is the value of rho, which is the radius. Okay, so now, so that r dash, it is varying from 0 to a, and also theta dash is, it is varying from, so now in terms of the theta, we have expressed in terms of z and r, so as theta varies from 0 to pi. Okay, so now r we have to substitute, because whenever theta varies, this r varies, so that's why it is nothing but r varies from z minus r dash to z plus r dash. Okay, so now you sin theta dash and d theta dash, you can substitute. Okay, so that is nothing but r into dr divided by 2z r dash. Okay, so now here, whatever cos alpha which is there, you can substitute. Okay, so if you substitute the cos alpha, you will be having z square plus r square minus r dash square, so this divided by 2zr, so that is what your cos alpha. Okay, so now 1 by r square, it is there, because 4 by epsilon naught only I have taken the outside, and 1 by r square, it is remaining as it is. Okay, so now with respect to this elemental volume, r dash square, it is there, so that r dash square I am retaining here. Okay, so that r dash square I am retaining. So now we have completely written dv, so that is the volume, elemental volume. So dv is nothing but, so you can see here r dash square. Okay, so this is r dash square. So sin theta dash into d theta dash, we have replaced this one. Okay, and we have dr dash, so that dr dash, so we have to write, so that dr dash, and d phi dash we have written here. Okay, so now with respect to theta, so d theta dash, so with respect to that theta we have the dr, because whenever theta is varying from 0 to 2 pi, r varies from this value to this value with respect to change in the r value. Okay, so now this is dr, this is theta, and this is so phi, and this is the cos alpha value. Now we have substituted all the values in the field equation. So now we have to evaluate this integral. Okay, so now if we evaluate this integral, so now we need to evaluate this integral to get the that field due to volume charge. Okay, so now we have E, which is equal to, so this is, so whole thing, the electric field whole thing which is in the az direction. So make sure that, because when we add up the fields due to small elemental charge, the only z component will add up each other. Okay, so rho v by 4 pi epsilon naught. So, and if we integrate this one, we will get, so 2 pi value. Okay, so now we have to integrate first this inner integral, then outer integral. Okay, so now we can write r dash, which is equal to 0 to a. Okay, and r, which is varying from z minus r dash to z plus r dash. Okay, so now we can take whichever the terms common to each other and whichever cancel each other. Now we can see here, so 2z into 2z, so we can take outside and it will give 4z value. Okay, sorry, this is z r dash, not 2z r dash, it is z r dash, because this will having 2 cancel each other and it will give z r dash. Okay, so now if I take out this one, so we will get the z value which is not with respect to the variation of r, so this is constant, we can take outside. Okay, so now we can have z square here. Okay, that is z square, it is taking outside z into z. Okay, so now you can see here 1 by r square and r, so 1 r will get cancel each other and we'll be having left out with, so the, so this r and this r will get cancel each other and we left out with r square itself. So now r dash and r dash will get cancel each other, we have only, so r dash. So now if I take that common terms, r dash if I take here common, it will left out with 1 plus, so we have z square, so minus r dash square divided by r square, so this into dr into dr dash. Okay, so if I multiply or if I take r dash common, so we have this, the equation which is left out. Okay, so now we can integrate first with respect to dr. Okay, so then we will get the next integral. Okay, so first integrate this one with respect to dr, so we will going to get the next integral, so that will write it as rho v by, so 4 pi epsilon naught, so this 2 is there, so we can have 2 also outside, so that is 2z square into 2 pi. Okay, so this is r dash equal to 0 to a. So now if you integrate this one, so this value with respect to dr, so now we can take, so the quotient rule and we can apply, so you will get it as r dash into, so r minus z minus r dash, so that is z square minus r dash square divided by r. So this is what we will get the integral with respect to dr, and even you can substitute the integral which is z minus r dash to z plus r dash. Okay, so this into dr dash. Okay, so if you integrate this one by using quotient rule, you will end up with this equation. Okay, so now this equation you substitute these values. Okay, so the limits, So you will going to get rho v by 4 pi epsilon naught. So again this 2 will get cancel each other and 5 will get cancel each other. Okay, so now we have the so now we have this 4 epsilon naught by 4 pi. Okay, so this will get cancel each other, so we'll get so 4 epsilon naught and we have end up with z square. So rho v 4 pi, so epsilon naught z square. Okay, so now we have r dash which is equal to 0 to a. So now if I substitute these values, the limits z minus r dash to z plus r dash, so we will end up with an equation 4r dash square into dr dash. So this will get, so 4r dash square. So this will end up with this equation if you substitute the limits. So now we can integrate this one more time with respect to r dash. So you will get the 4 into, so r cube by 3. So and this one r dash cube by 3 and you can substitute 0 to a. Okay, so now this is the integration for this one. So now if you substitute, so rho v by 4 epsilon naught z square into, so this whatever 4 by 3 into, so now if I substitute r with the limit a, you will get 4 by 3 a. Okay, so now if I substitute the volume charge density, okay, so we have here wherever we have missed the pi value. Okay, this is 4 pi epsilon naught, this is 2 pi. Z square. Okay, this is 2z into z, 2z square. Okay, so now we can have the volume charge density, okay, which we have discussed earlier. So you can substitute that volume charge density, so which is given by the 4 pi a cube by 3. So that we can substitute. So if I substitute the volume charge density, which is nothing but 4, so this we can write this one. So that is whatever we have discussed, q equal to rho v into 4 pi a cube by 3. So now rho v is nothing but q by 3 into 4 pi a cube. So 3 cube by, so 3 cube by 4 pi a cube. Okay, so now if you substitute that one, you will get the total field. That is E equal to, so 3 into q, so this divided by 4 pi a cube. Somewhere we have missed here. Where the integral become missed, because it should come 4 pi. You can have 4 by 3 pi a cube, 4 by 3. This integral it is giving this much. So if you multiply, so q by 4 by 3 pi a cube. So if I substitute the volume charge, so this 4 by 3 get cancelled. A cube will get cancel each other. Yeah, so we'll get the value. So now if I substitute the volume charge, which is nothing but q by 4 by 3 pi a cube. Okay, so whatever we got, so this 4 by 3 will get cancelled, a cube will get cancelled each other. So now we'll end up with equation E, which is equal to q by 4 pi epsilon naught z square. Okay, so this into Az. So this is what we'll get the electric field. So here we have substituted for the rho v value, and we have got this from this integral and whatever the remaining term earlier. Okay, so this is we have end up with the electric field integration, that is electric field due to the volume charge density. Okay, so this is obtained at the point E, which is equal to 0 comma 0 comma z. Okay, so this is what we are going to get. So now if I take the charge distribution, as I said, symmetrically at the point somewhere it is r comma theta comma phi. Okay, so in general this z value, so whatever we have this z value, if I consider this as at point r, so in general we can write it as the electric field due to the volume charge distribution at point p r comma theta comma phi at a point r. So in general we can write it as, so E equal to q by 4 pi epsilon naught r square into ar direction. In general we can write it as, with respect to this, the value of the volume charge at point p r theta phi. Okay, so now we can see here, which is same as the point charge which is q located at the origin, and which will be having spherical distribution. If you can take this one, so this is nothing but the charge distribution, that is point at the origin of this sphere. If we have the charge distribution, so this will give the same thing. Okay, so now we'll even by using Gauss law also, this we can able to apply by using the symmetrical charge distribution that we'll going to see later. Okay, but the final result which is obtained, so due to the volume charge, so this is actually this total field due to volume charge. We can have this field due to volume charge, which is nothing but rho v by 4, so epsilon naught z square into 4 by 3 a cube. So this is what we will obtain. So now if I substitute the rho v, we will going to get the, so this field distribution. This is due to point charge which is distributed spherically or over the sphere. Okay, so this is what we will get due to volume charge. So is there any doubt? So here you have to take care while doing the integration evaluation. Okay, any doubt in this? Hello? Anybody any doubt? Deepika,
Yes, sir.
any doubt in any step? If you are having doubt, you can ask.
No doubt, sir.
Janavi,
Yes, sir.
any doubt in any step?
No, sir.
Rakshit,
Hello, sir.
any doubt?
Hello.
Yeah.
No, sir.
Okay. So now we'll do some problems based on this. So line charge, surface charge and volume charge. So that we'll take up in the next class. So this is about the very important thing, surface charge density. So that is distribution, charge distribution over line, surface and as well as volume. Okay. So we'll take up the problem in the next class. Okay. Okay, so we'll discuss in the next class the problems.